This is a sequel I never thought we'd see, and even when it was announced, I was even more baffled by it being just on Wii U. I'm Andrew Reiner, everyone. This is Bayonetta 2 from Platinum Games and publisher Nintendo. Joe Juba is going to be playing it. He did the review for us. Hello, Joe.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Always doing well when I'm playing Bayonetta.
And Ben Reeves is going to be here. He's our hair expert, so he's going to be judging the look of Bayonetta's hair.
Interesting bird hair. What?
What was that? Like Assassin's Creed Animus stuff?
I don't remember you being able to transform into animals in the first one. That's a new thing, right?
No, you could do that in the first one.
Really?
Yep. It was. You could do the panther, and then you could eventually, I think you could buy the crow.
And like extended periods of time, or is just part of a combo?
No, you could do it.
I don't remember that at all.
Did you even play the first game, Ben Reeves?
Definitely did play the first game.
Well, no, I could see how, because it was mainly like a mobility thing, or that you would use for traversing an area,
Right.
and it was less about like combat applications. So.
Right.
What is this Indiana Jones stuff?
This is the intro. We can skip this.
Is that Joe Pesci?
We're watching the beginning of the game? Where are we going to be at?
No. I mean, we are watching the beginning of one of the early missions in the game, but we can just dive in and get to it. So
Mount Doom.
yeah, the story is you basically want to get to the top of that mountain.
It's just a painting.
That's how the story starts. So, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's sort of like it runs smooth. You can do, you have a lot of the same powers like that panther. This is actually sort of a late game save that I'm replaying a level in. So like, you don't necessarily have all of these abilities at this point in the game, or all the weapons, but
What kind of bird is that?
fun to show off. I think they call it a crow.
Hair crow?
It's like scarecrow, but hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa! What was that?
I think Reiner is impressed by the water snake thing.
It's called an eel.
Hair snake?
Well, I guess there are some snakes that swim.
Okay, what was that guy? Just tell us everything you see on screen right now.
Yeah,
Joe.
I'm not going to go into
You're not
too
gonna
much
do that?
detail about that stuff, but
Just explain the detailed, expansive lore of the game to us.
so yeah, I mean, as you can see from the way it's performing here, it runs well on the Wii U. It's nice and smooth.
Do you use the second screen at all?
My preferred way of playing is to just use the Pro Controller. That's what I'm using right now. It doesn't have... You can play it on the gamepad screen if you want to do like the touchpad and stuff, but it's not necessarily in terms of like extra applications or anything like that.
Gotcha.
I mean, you play on the touch screen if you want a little bit of an easier experience, I think. Or, I mean, I have it set down to the lowest difficulty right now because
Joe Juba.
You're a pansy.
well, it's hard for me to talk and play this game at the same time. I don't think that'd be fun for anyone. So,
But the first game was like one of your favorite obsessions, or I mean, games, like action games.
Yeah,
A long
I mean,
time,
you
right?
did 100%ed that in achievements, right?
yeah, I did. I really, really liked the first one, and this one strikes me in a very similar way. Like, the action is just as polished. There's just as much variety in it. It's the sort of thing where, like, I love the way that these games let you sort of find your own style in terms of the way you like to fight. You know, it gives you a lot of different weapons, and some I liked and some I didn't, and some players might love weapons that I didn't care for. You know, it just sort of puts all these options in front of you and lets you decide how you want to use it. So
Getting a little bit of a Devil May Cry vibe here with the
new
transforming
Devil May Cry,
landscape.
the-
yeah.
Yeah, the world.
I mean,
changing.
obviously,
yeah,
sort of based on Devil May Cry to begin with, but like the new one with the transforming like environments.
Yeah, that is not. I would not say that that's totally out there. It's not as much of a focus. Like that's what I'd say is a big thing, like a big talking point about the first or about the reboot.
The new, yeah.
Yeah. This one, it's a thing that is in the game a little bit, but it's not as much of a centerpiece, I feel like. So this, you'll find these little chests around that you then need to go and, get these, and then you'll unlock special rewards and stuff.
Water temples are always the best levels in games. That's sarcasm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I left.
Well, I'm actually kind of surprised because because like we mentioned when we started this thing, like this is exclusive to Wii U, which is an odd choice. So I was kind of worried that they were maybe going to kind of just like blow it off because Wii U doesn't have as big of a viewership, let's say.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we're not going to worry about making this game as polished as we would, but sounds like that's not the case, which is great.
It sounds like that. Yeah, that is definitely not the case. And not only that, they also didn't skimp on like the post-game content stuff, which was a thing that I loved about the original Bayonetta 2, is that like the game, as far as I see it, is basically split into two halves, right? You've got your story mode, and then you've got everything that you can do after the story mode, like,
And story mode's new for this game, right? Because there wasn't a story in the first one.
Well, I can see how you might think that, Ben, but yeah, the story in the first game was not great. I would not say the story in this game is great either. But
more comprehensible, maybe?
I guess I would say, like the first game, the story is, for me anyway, is such a non-factor compared to how fun the combat and exploration and stuff is, that it just like doesn't really register for me.
I like Joe Pesci's character in the first one. Is he back? Did you?
Oh, he's so annoying.
Actually, it's funny you bring that up because like that character, he is like the first game, is back for some of the very early scenes and then just completely disappears.
Oh, and then he just showed up at like the end.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh yeah, that guy.
It's basically that again. But if you were worried about this game sort of losing its edge because it's now published by Nintendo and on a Nintendo console, all you need to do is listen to that character's dialogue for the first like 10 minutes of the game. He drops the F-bomb so much in that early section to the point that I was like, I think there's actually more swearing in this game than the last one.
And we're not dissing Wii U here. I think the game is a fine fit for the system, but I just didn't think we would see a sequel given the first game didn't do too well, right?
Yeah.
Like out of the gates, it kind of flopped.
Yeah, the first game was sort of, they dropped it right after Christmas, like early January. It was right around the same time that the first Darksiders came out, too.
But then for a first-party publisher to come forward and be like, yes, we want this as an exclusive after that, that kind of poor reception was kind of shocking to me.
Well, yeah, and a first-party publisher being Nintendo. Now, again, nothing against Nintendo, but like, you would
not generally their style.
This game is not necessarily what would first come to mind as like a good fit for Nintendo, but I think after finishing this game, I love it, and I think it's a great fit for the console. So
yeah,
they better put her in Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a good fit.
A DLC. I know
DLC
we know
the. Yeah.
I guess maybe the Wii U version will have more characters. I know they said that they'll have the same amount, but maybe they're not talking about hidden ones. But yeah,
maybe
she would be a good addition.
This yellow guy.
Nope, he has a Triforce.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about him.
No, you don't like him?
Well, he's just like a story thing.
Looks like a card player.
Yeah. That's like his power.
Similar to Gambit from the X-Men.
Okay, we're going to skip this.
Skipping spoilers.
We're going to skip it lest we get
let's fight.
Lest we get more X-Men jokes from Ben.
I can keep them coming.
So what I just used, this is a new addition for the game called Umbran Climax
Or Purple Juice.
Purple Juice. Yep. It's like the first game. I don't know if you remember, Ben, you probably don't. Where when you'd fight bosses in the first game, there were
bosses?
All of your attacks during like big boss fights or certain boss fights, we would turn into wicked weaves, like her special like super version of her attack.
Right.
But that would only happen during those specific encounters. And now this Umbran Climax mode is basically a way for you to trigger that at will during regular encounters. And you do that when you get like a full magic meter. So
this guy's got his head stuck in the ground.
So it's a cool addition. It adds another little like piece of excitement to encounters that are just normally, that you normally do your normal routine through. It's just a way to make you feel a little more powerful, give you some more options during regular fights.
And if you're a Wii U owner and you've never seen Bayonetta before and you're watching this series for the first time, you're kind of in luck, right, Joe? Because the first game is included with this one, right?
Correct. Yep. You get...
And that's not a pre-order bonus or anything like that. That's just in the package?
It's a download. So it's not disc-based, I don't think.
You got to have internet
But you get
to
the free code in the package.
But you get Bayonetta 1 along with it. Yep. So you can sort of see you can get the background. I guess I don't know. This game's pretty good.
But the first game is really good too, so you get 2 great games in the package.
Yeah, and if you haven't played it,
exactly,
especially.
exactly. I guess what I'm trying to talk around is the fact that like you don't need to play the first one to appreciate this one. You'll miss some story bits, but like if you just want to see what Bayonetta 2 is all about, you can do that, and I don't think you'd be completely lost.
Whoa.
I'm going to say the complete opposite. Like, you better start with the beginning. You better get to know Joe Pesci. He's going to be back. And like I said, that game is fantastic. That first one is really, really good. And that's a sweet little package that Nintendo put together.
Yeah, and even as a bonus, in case you didn't see the reports on it around E3 and stuff, there you actually get Bayonetta has some like special Nintendo related costumes. Like
we can show that in a second. We have one unlocked.
Yeah, we can show that in a bit. But yeah, you get it's just a cool little bonus that's like something different from the first game.
And Joe, you reviewed this for us a couple weeks ago. What how does it stack up to the first one?
You know, I gave it the same score as the first one.
Is it better than the first one?
It is in some ways. I guess one of the things to know about it. Whoops, I'm screwing up. One of the things to know is that in a lot of ways it retreads some of the same ground, and that was a little disappointing for me. Like, as a sequel, you want to see some additions, and this game definitely has those. But like, a lot of the weapons, even though they're technically different, aren't that different. And the same thing goes for some of the enemies. So like, you know, for instance, in that first game, it's kind of a nice surprise when you see, like, oh wow, I have some ice skates that help me move around faster, but they're also like ice powered. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Is that a demon in her hair?
Yeah, don't
It's
worry
like
about
stabbing him through the neck. I approve. This is good hair. Hair expert opinion.
it. Nice.
Yeah. So is this a actual boss or is this like a sub boss?
It's like a sub boss.
Mini boss?
Well, let's cut here and let's go show off some of those costumes.
Yeah, and well, what we'll actually do is show off some costumes in a multiplayer style setting.
Okay, let's go do that.
All right, so here we are setting up the tag climax mode, which is
It's a card game.
It's a multiplayer game, which unfortunately Ben is not playing with me because it's only a
Online multiplayer,
right,
not
right,
local.
right. So we're setting it up, and basically what it is it's a series of and by the way, that's the Star Fox costume on the left there.
You know what that is?
That's the one we were talking about.
Yeah, that's a foxy lady.
Oh, there you go. Hey, yo. Hey, you should be on stage.
So
Okay, anyway, continue.
What this mode lets you do is fight, like you go to an encounter that you collect throughout the campaign. You collect those verse cards. And then you try to basically get more points than your counterpart. And if you do, you get a big bonus in terms of your
Oh, okay. So it's competitive. It's not like
no, it is co-op in that you're trying to beat the encounter, but you're also trying to get more points than your friend in the encounter.
Okay.
Which I think I actually lost that one.
Oh yeah, I did pretty good.
So I lost.
So one thing about that costume, she has her guns are little R-wings, right?
Yeah. I'll shoot him in a second here.
And the other Bayonetta was
What
like
the heck did we just do?
grinding on like a double like chainsaws. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to talk about before. We'll get to that in a second. So what this is you actually bet a certain number of halos that you have, and that determines the difficulty of the fight. So if we bet the highest number of halos, that's going to be the most difficult version.
Okay.
Does Microsoft know we're doing this?
Then, okay, so those chainsaws. That's what I was talking about before, about things feeling a little samey.
Okay.
Is that like in the first game, here's the R-Wing, by the way. That's super cool.
Yeah, those are cool.
I like
Yeah, that was in the first game. I remember that, Joe.
So in the first game, you get those ice-powered ice skates. You don't have those in this game, but instead you get fire-powered chainsaws. But they're like, so it's kind of
different, but really it's like, you just swapped out like the visuals kind of.
Yeah. So, did we lose? Oh no, I made it. Okay. Ugh, I'm blowing it.
CPU's not doing very good.
Nope.
So you
Oh, gosh.
resurrected her there?
Yeah. I'm really blowing it here, though.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Thanks.
And is it only Bayonetta that's playable?
There are other characters playable. I think I'm not sure which ones I can talk about and which ones I can't. Bayonetta and Jean, for sure, they've talked about.
And
Okay.
others.
And others.
Yeah, we won't. We don't want
Such
to
as
spoil
Star
it for
Fox
people.
Bayonetta.
Right.
We'll do one more of these weird things.
Okay.
This is really. Are they all that brief?
Yeah, they're all pretty brief, but what I was saying is that it's actually you can see on the left side there that it's a sequence of 6. So you only actually get all of your Halo rewards after doing 6 in a row and
really?
winning 6 in a row.
So if you lose this one, do you have to start over from 1?
Yeah, so if I lose this one, I lose all the rings that I've bet and need to start over. Because you'll see your health kind of carries over from one to the other. I didn't start this with full health.
Ah, that's interesting.
So the other thing that's good about it, though, is all the Halos and stuff that you earn carry over from multiplayer into your single-player campaign. So it's actually, from my experience anyway, playing Tag Climax is the best way to just rake up a bunch of Halos so you can afford some of the more expensive accessories and stuff.
Right. It's like Halo. Can you go?
Ugh. No.
No?
No.
I've
So-
been meaning to ask you, though, what's this weapon you're using? Crazy claw thing.
I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. This is my favorite. What I'm using is my favorite combo in the game, which is again, something that's kind of same-ish is that we have these feet weapons that are ice or fire, which there were gauntlets like that in the last game, and then you have this scythe thing that's pretty sweet. But then there's also my second set I have right now is just why can't I switch it?
It's like weird Freddy Krueger claw thing.
Oh, maybe it doesn't let
pretty
me
cool
use my
looking.
second set here. Anyway, you have swords and feet and guns and all sorts of crazy weapons. Again, I'm pretty impressed by the arsenal overall. So,
All right, Joe.
Sweet.
Any final thoughts here?
I guess my takeaway is that if you liked the original Bayonetta, like I did, I didn't think that it was possible to make it feel any smoother, make it feel any more ridiculous or over the top. And I think Platinum Games just nailed it. I had a great time with this game.
All right.
Great.
Well,
Looks
shut
fun.
up. And thanks again, everyone, for watching. This is Game Informer's Test Chamber. We try to cover all the new releases each week. Come back to our site on Tuesday or on YouTube and keep your eyes peeled for more episodes. We'll see you then.
Thanks, guys.